TLC exposed Adnan Abdelfattah and Tigerlily Taylor are banned for life, used, silenced, and erased forever. Fans sensed something different from the first time Tigerlily Taylor on the stage at Day Fiancé. Something unvarnished, something perilous, something genuine. She wasn't as polished as the other. She wasn't screened for stardom, and she didn't hesitate to show her imperfections on screen. Long before anyone, including TLC, recognized the impending explosion, a storm started to brew, and fans were first exposed to her enigmatic fiancé, Adnan Abdelfattah. They didn't try out for reality TV, they were investigated. Insiders whispered that when season became popular, Tigerlily was discovered by a junior production assistant who saw a social media video of her sobbing in her car while discussing her long-distance romance with Adnan, who was still abroad at the time. The purpose of the video was not to garner notice, but TLC spotted a chance the network pursued. Rather than merely reached out hard before Adnan had even arrived in the US, the producers had already sorted through their private correspondence, coerced Tigerlily's family into signing releases, and set up filming dates. By the time viewers saw them in season episode 1, their story was constructed rather than found. Our love story felt genuine in spite of the deception, though fans immediately clicked because of Tigerlily's past trauma. Adnan's quiet intensity, their cultural struggles, their language barriers, and their tenuous hope for one another. Reactions were overwhelmingly positive. Memes proliferate. Watch parties were established instead of seeing. Humanity TLC saw $signs they were already being forced into conflict by the third episode. Tigerlily was urged to bring up prior romance rumors by the producers. Off camera, they informed Adnan that he appeared too calm and needed to show more emotion. They purposefully omitted the lengthy, silent, humorous moments that gave them a human quality, replacing them with footage that gave the impression that they were unstable, volatile, or about to collapse. And it was successful. Each time they appeared, the ratings increased. However, the more sinister reality is that Tigerlily and Adnan were unprepared for the sudden acclaim that followed. They were never adequately warned, prepared, or protected by TLC. The first episode aired, and Tigerlily's office was inundated with calls. Within days, online harassment was aimed at Adnan's foreign relatives. Troll accounts began analyzing Adnan's accent, Tigerlily's physique, their relationship, their money, and even their families. TLC advised them to disregard it. They didn't provide assistance on social media. No PR handler was assigned. The harassment was not observed by them. They did nothing to stop outright defamation on websites that collaborated with the network for advertising. Rather, producers leaned closer by episode 7. They were informed that when presented in high-conflict situations, their plot was testing well with focus groups. "We need more damage" was coded as "we need more attention." Production kept the cameras rolling outside the door while Tigerlily sobbed in a restroom for more than an hour during filming, according to a crew member who eventually resigned. She was informed that her contract gave them creative control over the course of the story. When she pleaded with them not to use specific footage in an attempt to maintain harmony, Adnan requested a brief filming pause so they could concentrate on their mental health. Producers changed their next scene to suggest that Adnan was thinking about quitting. Tigerlily, rather than offering assistance to make it appear as though he left her after a fight she never even had, they filmed him going outside to get some fresh air. One of the greatest ratings of the season was received by that program. Fans believed they were on the verge of a tell-all confrontation by the time they made their farewell appearance in episode. Nobody was aware that Tigerlily and Adnan were the last to find out that TLC had already taken a decision behind the scenes, since the network had already extracted everything it desired from them by that point. They made money. They were popular. Their suffering subsided. Episode titles were inspired by their own struggles as the season came to an end. TLC did what it always does when its favorites become inconvenient. It quietly and permanently ended the show. Not a warning, no justification, no renewal, no spin-off, no therapy, no defense. Just a lifetime ban, and silence the first people to notice their disappearance. Fans no interviews for promotions, no features for podcasts. TLC's social media accounts showed no mentions. Where are they now? Follow-up should not be advertised. Shoutouts were also given to cast members who openly disagreed with the network. But Adnan and Tigerlily cleaned with a cloth. They were initially thought to be keeping a low profile. Then, however, a fan revealed a startling fact. Internal network databases no longer contain their names. According to a different source, Tiger, Lily, and Adam's contracts were marked with a restrictive clause that is often applied to cast members who break non-disclosure agreements. Or perhaps they were going to. After filming was finished, there were persistent but unsubstantiated rumors that Tigerlily had gotten into an altercation with the senior producer off-camera. She allegedly sought access to unused film that presented them in a more positive way and accused them of emotional exploitation, according to reports. Adnan supported, thereby stating that he regretted signing their initial contracts. Legal emails came in a matter of days. Not extensions, notices to silence. They were instructed not to talk about behind-the-scenes behavior or production terminology. Not to address the media, should avoid taking part in podcasts, not to expose editing tricks. In addition to their prohibition and the actual ban everlasting, forever irreversible. The unexpected turn of events, however, is that the fans discovered it nevertheless. Twitter conversations. Reddit is a leaker. Whistleblowers in Facebook groups. Internet postings by former camera operators who are anonymous. Remarks from individuals claiming to be employed at TLC's digital division. The components came in one by one, and all of the evidence pointed to the same conclusion. TLC intentionally destroyed them rather than simply letting them go. What Tiger, Lily, and Adnan were unable to publicly state themselves, fans started to say they were put to use. They were exhausted. They were thrown away. Worst of all, the individuals who initially established them were also the ones who brought them to. Bruin fans waited for Tiger, Lily, and Adnan to regain their prominence. As the weeks went by and the season reunion drew near, anticipation was growing. Countdowns were going around, and their names were trending on fan pages. Many thought that TLC would call them back for a tell-all special spin-off announcements, or perhaps a piece that would. Suppose what transpired after the show was filmed. After all, at pivotal moments in the season, the couple's plot had increased viewership and garnered enormous engagement. However, Tiger, Lily, and Adnan were not listed on TLC's official tell-all guest schedule. Not unconfirmed, not delayed, non-existent. As if they had never been there. Not a word, not a picture, not even a tease blurred out. At first, fans were perplexed. Some thought they were keeping them a secret or that it was a production decision. Some believed there was a schedule conflict. Then, however, an even more disturbing event occurred. They were removed from their own digital footprint. TLC on streaming services episodes with Tiger, Lily, and Adnan were covertly altered. The metadata was cleared of their names. Other couples were included in promo clips that previously displayed their faces. Their scenes were completely omitted from the social media release. Season review videos. Someone in the organization was attempting to eradicate them, not merely get rid of them. The leaks began at that point. The agreement that quieted them, a post purporting to have information of a no-contact clause imposed on Tigerlily, and Adnan surfaced anonymously on a fan-run Facebook site devoted to exposing TLC. Truths. They were prohibited from discussing the program production, cast treatment, and their dismissal in public by the purported provision. Interviews, podcasts, live streaming, and even casual online concessions with fans were prohibited. The permanence was what set this apart from other types of NDAs. They were prohibited from any future collaboration, representation, guest appearance, or network involvement in perpetuity, according to the provision, which no other member of their season was subject to. Life bans were never imposed on cast members who had a history of arrests, scandals, or public disputes. So why them? Why now? Tigerlily has been taking notes, even genuine notes, of talks, producer manipulation, emotional pain, and even written or produced incidents to enhance drama, according to a former production assistant who later quit. She apparently implied that she had proof when she questioned the production about their portrayal. Everything changed at that point. The night that changed everything, Tiger, Lily and Adnan were requested to attend an off-camera debrief discussion following the conclusion of production on episode, which is typical for couples with high levels of engagement. Given the unprecedented level of fan engagement, they anticipated conversations on potential future prospects or spin-offs. Instead, they encountered ambiguous charges, abrupt suspicion, and subliminal warnings. Someone with knowledge of the discussion claims that one producer claimed that Adnan was not cooperating with storytelling direction and Tigerlily was difficult to manage. They weren't informed that the network had no confidence in their continued on-screen presence. According to reports, Tigerlily retaliated, accusing TLC of taking advantage of their personal crises, deleting reconciliations, fabricating scenarios to incite conflict, and doing nothing to stop hate campaigns directed at them online. She called for legal disclosure regarding their video and mental health resources. The producer told them that they were no longer aligned with the network's vision. Rather than addressing her issues, they lost access to all TLC-affiliated platforms. Within hours, they lost contact with their publicist. They received a private email stating that they were being released from ongoing obligations and will not be featured in any upcoming franchises, specials, episodes, or features. Not even an apology. Not a word of encouragement. The worst part was that they were prohibited from ever speaking about their experience in public or having any kind of affiliation with the network. The cover-up happens quickly. TLC did not want them to deviate from the story. The couple's receipts, including voice recordings, emails, production notes, texts, and unfiltered exchanges, were known to the network. They wished to keep them from speaking the truth. They didn't want them to reveal pressure methods, staged arguments, contractual deception, for editing manipulations. Thus, what insiders now refer to as a silent blackout was started by the network. Their images gradually vanished from the official cast galleries on TLC.com. Their biographies were removed. Press blurbs from previous episodes no longer included their names. Broken pages started to appear in archived links that feature them. The YouTube advertisements in which they were featured were unlisted. They even stopped using hashtags associated with them on TLC staff accounts. It seems as though someone issued a clear directive before they speak. Erase them, the start of the fan revolt initially. Spectators were perplexed, however. Uncertainty gave way to distrust, and distrust became indignation. The Reddit post "Where did Tigerlily and Adnan go?" went viral. Fans collected screenshots that demonstrated their removal, re-edited versions of older episodes with fewer Tigerlily Adnan scenes were displayed side by side. Viewers found that shows felt disconnected due to sudden cuts and missing confessionals. Comments went wild. The following is a cover-up. They were prohibited, and no one is speaking. TLC wiped them clean because they knew too much after using them for drama. The network is concealing the fact that they were dirty. Thousands of people like conversations on Twitter, now X, that raised questions about their disappearance. The distinctions between their episodes, broadcast, and streaming versions were highlighted by fan-run Instagram pages. Creators of TikTok discussion videos accused the network of cutting away sequences that depicted Adnan as patient, surrounded, and helpful while distorting Tigerlily's image to appear emotionally unstable. In an effort to get answers, fans started tagging TLC in posts. TLC said nothing mean total observations of other cast members. Both current and former day fiancé cast members subtly admitted that something was wrong. One former cast member even shared a vague story that read they did it again. Others liked cryptic remarks about the show going too far. There has been no change. When you are working with them, keep yourself safe and anonymous. Direct message leak, purporting to be a season alum, said, "We alerted them." Were two forthright couples that push back are disliked by TLC. They put you on a blacklist if you question production. Adnan and Tigerlily were not the first, but they suffered the most. According to another insider, the couple was viewed as a liability because they were unpredictable, not in terms of drama, but rather in terms of their refusal to pretend to be dramatic. They asked too many questions. The unwritten norms were not followed by them. They refused to exchange their honor for airtime. TLC forced them to pay for it. The significance of the lifetime ban categories account for the majority of cast departures. Couples that split up after just one season are known as walkaways, non-renewals when TLC merely decides not to extend an invitation to return, quiet faces when a cast chooses to remain inactive or transition into smaller spin-offs. But a ban for life? It's not common nearly, and heard of only those deemed a threat by the network are allowed access. Adnan and Tigerlily didn't do anything wrong. They didn't break any agreements. They refrained from criticizing the network in public. They didn't divulge private information. They didn't even do unplanned interviews. Not letting themselves be further persuaded was their single mistake. TLC was aware of the danger of allowing them to voluntarily leave. They were able to communicate. The prohibitions served as a warning, a gag order disguised as a rule. However, it had the opposite effect, because noises produced by mistrust and stillness breed suspicion, and the ones who couldn't be hushed. For the supporters who adored them the most. The emotional damage they were never able to recover from. Tigerlily and Adnan were left to handle the psychological damage on their own while the network moved on. Despite becoming well-known public characters, they were denied access to resources, narrative control, and revenue prospects associated with their TV celebrity. Once discussed, brand deals abruptly abandoned them. The appearances they anticipated booking disappeared due to network-related complications. Influencer partnerships were canceled, and they were not only kicked out of TLC but also banned from the business. Tigerlily reportedly experienced a severe depressive episode before she completely banished from social media. A number of fan accounts claimed to have seen her post cryptic emotional captions. Soon after, Adnan stopped making any online appearances. They had no choice except to remain silent. It was a matter of survival. Fans were unaware at the time that this was more than just a prohibition. It was a funeral. However, the internet wasn't prepared to let them remain in the past. A strange thing started to happen behind the scenes. As fan discontent grew, TLC employees began speaking silently, with caution anonymously. These weren't just rumors from the internet. These included editors, junior employees, crew members, and even former producers who witnessed the treatment of Tigerlily in Adnan, as well as the planning behind their abduction. What began as disparate rumors developed into a pattern of charges that led to a single conclusion. Because Tigerlily Taylor and Adnan Abdelfattah saw too much, resisted too strongly, and threatened things TLC couldn't afford to reveal, they were silenced as well as blacklisted. The initial leak and eliminated scene that revolutionized everything of Tigerlily's most impactful scenes, in which she addressed production about emotional manipulation, was allegedly removed from the final episode. According to a former assistant editor, Tigerlily is supposed to have stated in that invisible moment, "You have no right to use our suffering as clickbait, and then leave us when it gets too personal." According to reports, that tape never aired, but it wasn't intended to. The leak claims that superiors ordered it to be completely deleted from the archives. Not simply taken out of the show, but taken out of storage of Albert Tigerlily. Requested copies of uncut footage prior to the conclusion of filming, according to the same editor. She sought evidence. She requested records. She desired safety. The wrong people were frightened by that. A sign the call that put an end to it all. Someone who claimed to have been present in the room during a secret conference call with talent management and law made one of the most terrifying allegations. An executive is accused of saying on the call, "We'll make sure she never speaks to anyone again if she believes she can expose us." After a few days, Tigerlily and then received the unexpected and unspoken news that their contracts were canceled, their scenes were restricted, and any future collaborations were canceled indefinitely. Internal emails allegedly used the term conduct unbecoming of network standards, but no details were provided. They weren't simply dismissed, they were removed, gagged and banned. Stopping the attempted tell-all before it began, Tigerlily allegedly contacted a mid-level talk show presenter before becoming totally silent to explore possible interview. Not to criticize TLC, but to give her side of the story. The host was intrigued. There was a pre-call planned, however the interview was cancelled a week later. Cancelled, not postponed, no justification, no follow-up. Tigerlily was never brought up by the host again later. Industry insiders claimed that TLC affiliates or legal exerted pressure to keep the news from getting to any microphones. Tigerlily disappeared from the internet at that point. She didn't gradually disappear overnight. She vanished. Her Instagram was deleted. She deleted her TikTok account. She was silent on Facebook. Adnan also lost access to his accounts. No joint statement at all. Not a farewell.